Hey guys, welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. We're now in Labyrinth Zone Part 1.
The infamous Labyrinth Zone.
That's
apparently you said this is where it gets hard.
This is where the game gets a little dickish, yeah.
I'm realizing that I recognize these levels, but the only one that I like really know well is like Marble Zone, and everything else I'm kind of like I remember the broad strokes of.
Yeah.
But
Fun fact that this zone was supposed to be the second zone of the game, but the developers deemed it too hard after testers said it was too hard.
I mean, you don't want to throw people right into an underwater level, which is actually exactly what Sonic the Hedgehog 2 does.
Remind me, is this a Sonic 1, right?
This is Sonic 1, yes. Yeah.
Okay, because I maybe it's just because I haven't played Sonic 1 in a really long time, but I'm expecting like the zones that I remember, like Chemical Zone and all that crap.
Yeah, that's Sonic 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Good old Sonic 2, yeah. And actually, going back to what we were saying earlier, I thought I could find a hidden part over there, but no deal.
Thread the needle twice there.
Yeah, but my first game ever too. I feel like Dan and I have had like parallels as children, because
cheap.
my first game was Sonic 2 for the Sega Genesis as well, and I got Echo the Dolphin maybe like a week later, and you know I didn't realize how crazy that game was until
that game
like
is nuts, and I still am like scared of that game.
There's aliens in it, man.
Those aliens are scary too.
Yeah, it's like this is not a game for kids.
It's not. It is so not. That game is about like the absolute horrors of underwater.
Of underwater critters.
But it also has like the best soundtrack. Probably my favorite game soundtrack of all time.
Yeah, it has such a serene soundtrack. Yeah,
the sound of Echo the Dolphin, and not the Sega CD version where it's all like orchestral and nice. I really like the Genesis version, which is like grimy and kind of gross.
Well, leave it to Sega to make an average game with a fantastic freaking soundtrack.
Yeah,
it's their MO.
Yeah, like to be honest, like something I've always said is that if Sega could, hire game developers who are half as talented as the people who make their music, they would make the best games ever made.
Oh, yeah, and I again, to the Sonic Adventure series, those soundtracks, those are my jam. Like, oh, man.
I mean, the actual the level... Sorry, I'm making all kinds of disgusting body noises. I'm just gonna give her a cold, my bad.
Yeah.
But the actual level music, like just the regular sort of instrumental music in those Sonic games, in like the newer ones, is pretty good. But like the minute you start throwing lyrics in there, it is rough.
I mean, like, yeah, they channel their inner '90s angst. But
listen, this is coming from a guy who used to have those songs memorized.
Oh, damn right.
I used to have mixed CDs with songs from Sonic Adventure on them.
Yeah. Still do if I had a Walkman, but yeah.
Yeah. So like, I feel like I'm able to speak on this. Those are bad songs.
I will listen to those songs with lyrics and be totally fine.
Oh, yeah, I can totally still rock out to them to this day. Yeah. Crush 40, come back, please.
You're in the minority here.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I get it. Like,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's people aren't, a large part of the community aren't a fan of, the 3D Sonic soundtracks, but it's a divide. But I think it's just it comes down to it.
Like I really like. I think it's the first zone of Lost World. It's whatever. It's in Smash Brothers. It's in like the Sonic level.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like a great tune. Like it's really good.
It's catchy.
Like Jordan said, the music in a lot of these 3D games, when it's instrumental, has still remained like pretty solid. Like they've been creating some really good stuff there, and also I feel like the music of these early games also doesn't quite get enough credit.
Yeah, I mean, like if Generations had like these really good like remixes of them, which are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to buy Lost World. The only reason I didn't was because I remember my friend and I walked into an EB Games and there was a demo of Lost World there. And oh my god, that demo was rough.
Sonic Lost World, you know what? I'm not sure what it was, but the more I played it, the more fun I had with it, and I thought I was losing my mind.
I really thought Lost World was a game that was like one of the better critically received new Sonic games.
It got destroyed on the day before it came out from reviews. I remember being so disappointed. It was like living the Sonic 06 all over again. But
I guess for you, that's the game that doesn't exist.
No, we'll get to that.
You know what?
Let me
just say, Sonic Lost World on Wii U Metacritic is a 63, which is actually not that bad.
Not that bad, no.
Not that bad. User score is 7.3.
Really?
That's good.
It's definitely
right.
it's definitely went up. On the first night, it was getting 2s and 3s out of 10. So I was like, no, I'm picking this thing up tomorrow. Don't do this to me. But the thing about Lost World is that it's actually a very well-produced game. Like technically and quality-wise, it's great. What turns off a lot of people are the controls. They do take quite a learning curve. To this day, I still don't know how to pull off a light dash for rings.
And if you want to see some more Sonic World or Sonic Lost World, you can go over to Chronicle Bros on the YouTube page. And
plug. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was one of the first games we did, and God, I lost my goddamn mind. I think I got a game over that.
You lost the world and your mind.
I like it. I like it.
That sums up the entire playthrough. That was the game where you could, if you pre-ordered it, you would get, I think, 50 extra lives as a pre-order bonus.
That's a
Are you serious?
It was bullshit. Like when that came out, we thought it was April Fool's joke, but it wasn't. The problem was it wasn't April, so we were really concerned.
Wow, that's insulting.
Here's the thing, you know, everyone was laughing at it, but then he started playing the game and he started dying like crazy. Like, oh my god, we know why. Yeah, but as far as pre-order bonuses go, that was a joke. Like,
In terms of 3D Sonic, I have like a weird opinion because I think at least the modern Sonic in the past few years, I think where the modern Sonic found its groove post, when 06 completely destroyed everything, was Sonic Unleashed, but the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed.
There were a handful of differences between the two games.
There were a lot of them.
There were a ton, yeah. But Sonic.
Sorry?
Oh no, go on.
Well, the thing is, because they were done by like two completely different studios, right? You had like the in-house Sonic team who did the one on the one on the
PS3 and Xbox, yeah.
So you had like the main Sonic team doing that, and that was completely garbage. Apparently, I played the demo for that, and I'm like, wow, the level design is absolutely terrible because it will put these.
Sorry, I'm just gonna interrupt for a second. You guys. Okay, never mind. Sorry, we're good. My rabbit was eating my shoes, but my girlfriend Dana is coming in here to save the day. I sneakily texted her while you guys were talking.
Are your shoes okay?
My shoes are okay. It's more that I'm worried about him. We don't want him eating the laces. And
and I saw that little note about water levels.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of this level. It's super slow. Like you're going as fast as a hedgehog in water. But it's just, God, dying in this level is the last thing you want to do. But Jordan, to your point, Dimps was the ones who did Sonic Rush were the developers, I believe.
Yeah, and they did a great job.
Those Sonic Rush games are wicked. They also have really good music by Hideki Naganuma, who did a lot of the music for Jet Set Radio.
Yes.
Okay, that explains a lot then.
What an underrated series.
Yeah. But the one for the Wii, like they did amazing job with it. The problem was that you could definitely see that the hardware limitations were kind of screwing it a little bit. But the game was solid. But apparently, I looked at playthroughs of the 360 version. Oh my god, it's a mess.
The 360 version was rough. But honestly, when it comes down to Sonic Unleashed, it's just those Werehog levels that ruined the entire experience. And apparently those were they were actually put in like last second because they felt like the game was too short. No, you're giving us what we want. Why pad it out with hour-long levels of a slow-moving wereman? Like, I think that's what it translates to, actually.
Yeah,
Werehog.
I haven't played the Werehog levels in the 360 PS3 version. But from the playthroughs I've seen and then comparing it to my experience playing the Wii version, like, I think the Wii version got the much better side of the deal because there was Like, they were long, yeah, but in a sense, they were only long just because Sonic can't go fast. In actuality, they were actually kind of short. And I saw, like, especially in, like, the last like, supersonic levels of Unleashed on the 360 version, I can see why, especially why people would hate that, because they literally kept switching between Werehog and Hedgehog at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, in the Unleashed version, it's like, oh, they were actually separate levels. So if you ever wanted to, like, you know, replay it, oh, I just gotta replay the one I like, not have to play the Werehog levels. As soon as I finished a Werehog level in the Unleashed for Wii, I never touched it ever again.
No, because when I go back to Sonic Unleashed, I just play the daytime stages, pretending that the nighttime stages don't exist.
Yeah,
it's such a
especially
place
Rooftop
breaker.
Run.
I'm surprised you go back and play Sonic games at all.
No, I will go back to play the classics, adventure games, and Sonic Generations.
I'm watching this playthrough right now, having not played Sonic 1 in a long time. I played Sonic 3 recently, somewhat recently, I guess like a couple years ago, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was like, wow, these levels are really great.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles specifically is
that's
considered
what it is. It's the
best
version that's
classic.
on the Xbox, like Sega or the Sonic's Genesis collection.
Thing for
Which is a fantastic, like, it's so good. It's such a good deal.
Really? Because I found that it was not very well put together. I think the I can't remember which version of it. Was it the GameCube version? I felt, maybe it's because I was using a GameCube.
You hit Eggman early.
Yeah, I believe you can defeat Eggman here, but that's not, in this level you're just trying to just keep up with them and live. But yeah, I found that there has been no successful port of a Sonic game.
I thought those Genesis ones were like, or that Genesis collection, I thought, is like pretty much the best thing you could ask for. You know, everything is preserved really nicely. It's got some like pretty fun bonus features. It's got achievements, which is nice. I don't know. There's no like obvious audio visual glitches.
I hear the Xbox controller is pretty comfortable for playing like Sonic games, because the GameCube definitely wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I would actually say is probably the biggest problem, is that just like, it's almost weird because you're almost forced to play it with the joystick, which is like, a little weird feeling, but you get used to that D-pad. You know why there's no good D-pads on new consoles, right?
Oh, the patent?
Yeah, it's because Nintendo has a patent on the actually good D-pad
But it
that
expired.
they have. And so every other company's D-pads are just crappy. Except for, actually, you know what? PlayStations are okay.